We are very deeply asleep in a dream called life. And we think that we don't have options, but we do. To accept myself was the hardest thing that I've ever done, because I've always had an imagination of myself, what I want to be, but I've never showed it to the world. Rat race, where you constantly want more and more and more, and it sucks you dry, and I was unhappy. In the end, I was really unhappy, and I didn't know where to go, I didn't know what to do. The only thing I knew that was not what I wanted. I wanted out. The freedom has a big price, and it has to be paid. I think we were born slaves, and I think that very few of us know exactly what freedom means, and I want to be one of those. To work for my freedom, I think it's a good goal.
Let me ask you this, are you working for your freedom or you're building someone else's dreams? Today we're gonna dive into something deep, building your own reality. You know, the kind of life you always wanted to have, not the one handed to you by someone else. This is the story of someone who uses a powerful tool to create his dream life. Let's travel to a small Greek island and meet another unplugged human, a musician, and a dear friend of mine.
I've always felt different, but I always wanted to fit in and be like everyone else, because stepping outside of the crowd was too scary for me. So I did my best to fit in. I was very good at that. I was pretending really nicely, and people actually liked me. But there was always a feeling inside of me that something is wrong. The question that started to pop up in my head was, is that what it is? Is that how my life is going to end? Every day getting up, going to work, waiting for the Friday and Saturday, waiting for those holidays, what it is for? What am I waiting for? Let's get something straight. The system has only 3 options to hold us: the food, the information, and the environment. When you start to unplug one by one all these 3 things, the system does not have a hold over you. So you're free. So the food was the first thing that I sort of unplugged. The system is in a low vibration, but the fresh fruits and the fresh vegetables, they are on a very high vibration. So when you start to consume high vibrational food, then we are what we eat. So we start to resonate on a higher vibration just because we eat those things. And you become sort of invisible for the system. You navigate better, you see what's going on, you can predict things before they even happen. You just become a different person. That was a really good thing for me. I said to myself that I want out of the system, and I would do anything to do it. If I have to cycle every day to the rest of my life to work and not take the tube, I would have done it. If I have to go every morning 4 o'clock to watch that sun, I would do it. After the sun, I was going back to my house and meditate for an hour or hour and a half, and then take the bicycle and go to work, go there, take a cold shower, even if it's in the winter, and then I would not use the modern lifts that they had to the 13th floor where I used to work. I would go at the back door to the steps up every day. I was the only one who was doing it. I started to eat only raw. Even in the beginning was really drastic for me. I thought that I would never do that. But I did it, and it's still good for me. I was still living in the system, but I was only present.
Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well.
The good thing about becoming yourself, your truly self, is there is no fear. It feels so right, it feels natural, and you let the spirit to guide you. So let's be clear about something. Getting out of the system, getting out of the matrix, usually means that you are experiencing some sort of spiritual awakening. I don't think that you would want to go out of the matrix unless you first have that call of spiritual awakening. And then it feels really natural. You feel like you want to do the things that you always suppress them, going out in the nature more, taking those walks, hugging trees, swimming in the ocean, swimming in the sea more often, booking that kind of holidays where you feel more to the nature rather than just restaurants and bars and getting drunk and all these things. The music for me is a program that goes through the heart first, and it's very easy to relate to. I believe that with words and with thoughts, we create our own reality. So we have to sort of be very careful what we listen to. I've noticed that most of the songs are programmed. They reprogram you to do certain behavior, especially the pop music, which I like. Rihanna has a song that goes like this: work, work, work. So when you repeat 3 times something, it becomes a clear message to the subconscious to work. If you want Maserati, you better work, bitch. Which is a Britney Spears song, really catchy, really nice. I love Britney. But I think there are other ways. I think that, you know, to get a Maserati, you don't really have to work really hard. It's just what the system wants you from you to work. If you want Maserati, I think that it's available. You can just go and get it. That simple. However, if everybody knew that how simple it is, then the system is gonna collapse. So what the system wants is to hold us tight. So we go in one direction, all of us, because we're easy to control. So when everyone is listening to the same things, when everyone is eating the same food, when everyone is drinking the same water, and living in the same environment, let's say one megapolis like London or New York or Tokyo, it's a rat race. Everybody is doing the same thing. But when one individual sets free and change all those things, 3 of them, then the system cannot catch you. I like my life. I had struggles, I have many happy moments. I'm a person who always takes the things from the positive side. The time came for me to change my life completely and leave London.
I came to Greece because I associate Greece with freedom.
I think we were born slaves, and I think that very few of us know exactly what freedom means, and I want to be one of those. I want to achieve the ultimate freedom, and I'm very passionate about it, and I would like, and I'm prepared to work for it. To work for my freedom, I think it's a good goal.
Everything has a price. So I've realized that the freedom has a big price. You have to have a very strong discipline. You wake up in the morning and you have a system, you have a program. If you don't feel sometimes very good in the morning for whatever reason, you force yourself to be good. Fake it if you have to. But don't break the chain of good events that are happening in your life. If I have a bad day, then I stop for a second and I decide to change it. I will stop for 5 minutes if I have to. When I will play some nice music that I like, I will chill and I will start singing and dancing, and then my mood immediately improves. Happy music is the biggest help that I found. So because we were talking about how music creates program on a subconscious level, then that was the moment when I realized it. That was the moment when I decided to listen to classical music, something that there's no lyrics, there's no voices. But after a few years listening classical music, when I was feeling good or bad or whatever, I decided that I need a little bit more uplifting. I need something to sing along with. But every song that I found, either on the radio or on Spotify, it was a program. So instead of complaining, I decided to do it myself. I started to write lyrics that inspired me and that they make me happy. That's how I started to make music. Making my own music was naturally the next step that I wanted to do, and I've always wanted to do it, but I never had the courage. So by doing it, I wanted to inspire other people to pursue their dreams and to start to do things what their soul wants to do. So either it's music or painting or anything. And exactly that mood that set me up in the morning is actually the music that I do. I listen to my own music when I get up in the morning. I was lucky enough to find a book called Reality Transurfing, written by Vadim Zeland. He's Russian, and a friend of mine introduced me to that book back in 2005. However, I was very young and things were happening from thin air for me, so I decided that I really don't need the book. But when I turned a certain age, I decided that I should go back to these books and see what's written in there. So this time was different. I could really understand the books and I started actually to practice them. Very few chapters in the beginning of the book, Vadim Zeland explained how you should look for a job. So he said very briefly that if you look at what the employer would like from you and you copy paste those things into your application, you can go like this. And then for the next job when I applied, I just copy paste what they want from me and I put it in my application as I do it. And I was given an interview first. Another thing that I used is, for example, when your manager comes to you to ask you to do a certain task and you are up to here with work and you don't want to do it, you have to remain calm and you have to listen to him and not. However, inside you don't agree with that. You go like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, you can talk to me. But you don't agree. But then you pretend that you're agreeing. And then you can even sit down with the manager and be like, oh, can you tell me how to do it better? So he does. And Vadim Zeland says that in the book that if you do that, either someone else is going to do the job instead of you, or the job is going to just go by itself. And every time it worked. But I noticed that my vibration started to go up when I started to do vegetables and fruits, raw food diet. So that was very easy to stay conscious all the time and to use the techniques not to fall asleep. Because usually what Vadim Zeland explains that when someone starts talking to you, you're deeply asleep. You're asleep immediately. You don't know what's going on, and they can do anything to you. The most important advice that the books gave me was that you should take this as a work. You get up and you work every day. You create your own reality, but you take it seriously. And that's what I did. I took it as a work. I worked very hard for it.
We are happy, happy people, and we always celebrate. Happiness is our freedom, cherish, love and elevate. We are happy, happy children, Mother Earth is our guide, and we much appreciate it, walking barefoot on the ground.
Also, good habit is when you wake up to brush your teeth and have a shower or to meditate, not to touch your phone for at least an hour before you after you wake up. As soon as you get your mobile, you are asleep. You're there. You're not present here, right? You are there. So it's a bad habit. We are very deeply asleep in a dream called life. And we think that we don't have options, but we do. To accept myself was the hardest thing that I've ever done, because I've always had an imagination of myself, what I want to be, but I've never showed it to the world. I don't know why, really, because it was naturally the easiest thing that I've done is being myself, and at the same time the hardest. I am someone who gets up 7 o'clock in the morning to watch it, to go and see the sun, to say hello to the sun and dance to the sun. The sun is something that gives us life. Without the sun, there's nothing. I also thank to the water when I drink the water. That's something that I've always been believing in those things. Some people will say that, you know, I have an easy life and I have nothing to do and I can just be whoever who I. Yes, I agree. However, I would say again, it depends how much you want to change your life. If you really want to change your life, if you really want to get out of the prison of the system, you will do it. I go back in my childhood and I heal from there. Of that boy that he changed himself so he could be liked. That's ridiculous. Nobody should do that. That stops your creativity, that stops everything. But I'll tell you all about Diondo later on, because I think that my boat is coming. To allow yourself to be who you are, it takes a lot of courage. Now I understand why so many people is crawling into their own shell and don't want to go out from there. As humans, we've been suppressed by the media, we've been suppressed by the huge companies and everything else that is going into this industry and every kind of industry. They show you perfect looking people with perfect voices, with perfect arrangements, with perfect music, and who you are to compete with them. To start from someone who has never had experience in singing, and to someone who actually have 4 albums with very good songs, I think it's an achievement for only 2 years. And a huge part of it is the reality transurfing, knowing the principles, knowing a little bit of the music industry, and also my soul, because I allow myself to express itself that way. And happy music is something that I really like. So to be able to create it and to see how other people were enjoying it, the industry showed us this perfection of things, and it's a very high level to compete with, and most people don't even start. They give up their dreams from the very beginning. One of the biggest secrets that has been kept from the humanity is that we manifest better when we are happy. I understand that, you know, it's difficult to live life. Rich people are unhappy and poor people are unhappy. So there's something wrong in the air. It's not about the money. It's about how you feel. We were born to be happy. It's actually our goal in life. Just like the children. The children have only one job: to play and be happy. It's a birth-given right to us to be happy. There is no sin in so-called happiness.